So this is the third part to the initial video about the birds flocking and the spiritual experience from the other day. Okay. Recently, I finally decided, those that know and have been following me for a while know that I am a writer. And since I've been here in the city, I felt like I had a writer's block, and my writing, I felt like it wasn't flowing right. When I would sit down and force myself to write. And mind you, when you have a gift, you can't sit down and force yourself to do anything. It has to flow from the spirit. And so I started working on a book of a letter to my exes. And I'm just at the beginning of it, but looking at even how far that I've come, the little bit that I've experienced, not so much the experience, but have put into the book. I'm just starting it out. But as I was reading it back and looking at the things that I've really been through, even the tip of the iceberg, it caused me to have an epiphany. It caused me to know that I needed to have a sit down with my sisters, black women, only black women. And it's a reason that we're so strong, and even the government can't get us down. Why? Because we've dated black men. We date black men. And with that particular experience, guess what? The reason we can overcome everything is because nothing has been more abominable, more damaging, more threatening to us than our own men. The war, the front line of war, a lot of time is right at home. And I'm going to stand on it and say more so than any other woman. Why? Because we're dealing with the men that have the less power. And so any power they have is going to be exploited and corrupted and abused and misused. And so when I looked at these particular experiences, it made me say to myself, I'm not looking to turn anyone into me, but those sisters that relate and know it will resonate, these words. That above everything, and with a lot of our experiences with these men, we use love as the excuse for abuse and misuse and mistreatment, and the list could just go on. Humiliation and embarrassment and violence and threats, right? And so we use love. If we really love our men, allow me to say that in this day and in this hour, we would never forgive them. Never forgive them. Meaning that they would spend out the rest of eternity bowing, scraping, I don't care, begging for our forgiveness and doing acts of kindness, and knowing it will never be enough for even a lifetime, meaning that our daughters and their daughters will have to be on the same type of time. Because recently I found a sister. I cannot think of her name right now. I'm going to pin it down in the comment section as soon as I find her, because I love to give credit where it is due. Maybe you could check out her page and gather something in the way that I did. But she made an argument that men are angry. And it's a reason that they're so abusive. And they are the way that they are. They are not natural protectors and providers. That's women. That's us. That's our duty. That is what comes natural to us. Men will protect and provide for that which he feels like he owns. Property. Predominantly. That the family structure and unit was devised off of the woman and child being slaves. Marriage, We're getting into real terminologies, meaning that when you're in domestic violence, guess what? Guess what? When you call the police and they first come out, they're not going to ask you this over the 911 line. But when they come out, the first thing that they want to know is, are you in a relationship with this person? Meaning, is it a stranger, some random guy off the street, or your boyfriend, your husband abusing you? And guess what? The question is so key and important because there are unseen levels to laws, unspoken of elements of law. And when you are seen as girlfriend, as wife, you are property, and the line have to go so far. Okay, it'll be so much more a man can get away with when he claims that he is your spouse, lover, whether former or current, or even a guy that you were dating. Even the law abides, And so that men were never meant for monogamy or long-term relationships, building family structures with, or even having in the household. They were not meant for us to live with. What? None of those things that these roles that we've imposed upon them, none of it comes natural to them. That their divine and sole purpose is sex and the occasional heavy lifting. I've heard of a lot of teachings, a lot of practices and religions and idealisms, but when it comes to practicality and actuality and real lived life experience, not only mine, but even my mother's and other women's, guess what? That truth resonated with my soul. That only women should be in a household and raising and protecting and defending children. Because that is our ingrained role. So that is what I mean. Not in not forgiving them in the sense of holding a grudge or allowing your heart to grow hard. No. Alleviating them of imposed upon roles and things that do not come natural to them. Accepting them for who they are. Embracing them in their deemed role. They are not us. They are in a form a collapsed and mutated woman, because we are all conceived as women. It's a metamorphosis that creates a man. So it is so much that he is lacking, and that he will forever be and possibly seeking what he lost in the role of the woman that he chooses to be with. It is our responsibility. We are the mothers. We are the nurturers, and we are the teachers to not only accept this reality, but to embrace men in their deemed role, as they should us. There's so much that we should not be emulating, just because men do it. They are our sons, and we are their teachers. No matter how much we try to get away from the role. And life itself is, everything is going to be put back in its designed place. Whether by force or by choice, soon enough. And we're in a time where women they're at a crossroad, and they have to make a decision. Every woman have to make the decision for herself. There's so much I could say, but I need for you to read in between the lines to determine your place and space in this new world and in this order. And even in our future, and our daughters, and their daughters. The decisions that we make right here, right now, will determine.